How's it going, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to another live testing match. Here we have Infernoble Knight on the left, piloted by me. Still learning a lot about the deck as I continue to play it and get all the physical cards for it here in the TCG. Versus one of my friends, Dan, on the right, playing Dino. What is increasingly, becoming more known to me is how absolutely bonkers Dino is right now. I think it is like the most overlooked yet most in everybody's view, like in plain sight. It's so out there in the open, yet it's just like I feel like it doesn't have the traction it entirely should have, because it's just insane. I mean, he has the FTK right here, and obviously it's not an actual FTK. I mean, it might as well be considered one. But just Fossil Dig for, Oviraptor, then getting Miscellaneousaurus, going just to banish itself to summon that of the Animador and Archosaur, popping Baby to Search Pill, and then Baby is going to summon out Petitranodon, or Petitranodon, and his cutscene will sort of play out here, his Dino Evolution cutscene, as we were calling it when we were recording these matches here. Yeah, Dino is an absolutely extremely powerful deck this format. It's a good thing we've gotten cards like 3T and Forbidden Droplet to, sort of soften the impact, I guess, of this absolutely bonkers deck. Yeah, as I was mentioning with Infernoble Knight, I've picked up, I think, about 3 boxes so far of Rise of the Duelist. Got pretty much everything I need for the remaining cards to remove, all the proxies from my current deck. The only thing I'm missing at this point is 2 copies of Infernoble Arms Durendal, and then I'll pretty much have the entire physical build to be able to take to locals at some point, and really just see how it plays out in sort of a randomized, tournament setting. So now here the cutscene has pretty much come to an end, where we have the Simorgh Bird of Sovereignty paired alongside that of the Evilzor Dolka and the Conductor Tyranno, the big UCT. So I cannot special summon any monsters other than wins. He has 2 basically monster negates, a Walking Solemn Strike and a Walking Book of Eclipse, with 1 set back row, which I believe is most likely impermanent. So I'm sitting here at this hand, I'm like, yeah, I'm not even going to humor an attempt at breaking this board, and we'll just go ahead and right into game 2. At this point, I'd like to mention a quick shout out to Imperium Duelist. If you guys are interested in both of these playmats, the Demon Slayer playmat on the right, or the Toon Frenzy V2 playmat, I believe it's called, or their V2 Toon mat, featuring some of the newer Toon monsters, Toon BLS, the Toon Table of Contents, or the Toon Bookmarker. I forget its actual specific name, but you know what I'm talking about. Very, very beautiful playmats here. 2-player cloth playmats on some of the softest material on the market. If you guys want to pick it up, you can do so by using that discount code WinnerKills10 off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order on all of their amazing products. So, getting back to the game here, I'm starting off with my opening hand here, using that Heritage of the Chalice. Now, again, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm still learning and experimenting a lot with Infernoble Knight. I know there's a lot of people out there in the community that have, really taken the time to analyze this deck as it made its way through the OCG, and have studied the way of the Infernoble, and have gone through numerous builds and testing and hours of testing, which I can, of course, 100% appreciate. But I'm still currently in the works of trying out my Ignite variant, 50 card variant, you guys have seen a profile for in the past, already on the channel. If you want to check it out, just check out that deck profile playlist. It should be in there as probably the most recent deck profile by the time I'm recording this. So currently trying to go for the anti-Nibiru play, because I feel like at this point in game 2 here, with him not really technically, I mean, he knew what I was playing, but, technically, if we played this out, like if we were in a live tournament setting, he wouldn't know what I was playing, because I conceded game 1 before I was able to play any cards, so I didn't give him that free information. So, he's sort of blindly siding here So I'm possibly worrying about hand traps and things of that nature. Obviously, you know, I have to take into a bit of common sensing. You know, if I'm able to pull off this consistent of a very, very powerful game-ending board, my opponent probably isn't going to want to give me the chance to set it up again in the hopes he draws hand traps and things like that. So, yeah, again, like I said, I'm trying to pull off the anti-Nibiru combo, which I think I have basically the groundwork to do it. As you see, I've used that Renaud early on in the combo here to go ahead and retrieve the Immortal Phoenix Gearfried from the graveyard, or Renaud rather, and the Ogier being the primary normal summon needed for this particular combo to happen. You can either obviously get it through Heritage of the Chalice, Durendal, pair of Ignites, whatever it may be. It's different pretty much in every hand. So as you can see here, fourth summon is going to be the Immortal Phoenix Gearfried, equipping it with the Ogier from the grave. And now opting to use that second effect of Isolde, Two Tales of the Noble Knights, going to send both the Infernoble Arms Durendal to the graveyard, another copy of it, and a copy of Living Fossil, to summon out 6 Samurai Genba, Secret 6 Samurai Genba, which is an important piece to the combo here. Important that it is a level 2 tuner, also Fire Warrior monster, so it does pair well with the rest of the strategy, and of course the Ignites and things of that nature. Now, there is a few tweaks to the extra deck that I want to make that I haven't made yet in this video, and you guys won't see those tweaks until like a test hand video comes out, or another duel video comes out showcasing those actual tweaks. But one of them involved adding a card like Coral Dragon to the extra deck, maybe alongside some other choice cards like IP Masquerena. But at this point, you know, at least in the video that you're watching, those changes haven't been implemented. But here, going for Martial Metal Marcher, bringing back Genba to synchro with Genba and the other remaining Link Cross token to go into that of Tatsunoko. And at this point, I need to synchro from hand here. And it's important that with this particular combo anyways, if you don't already have a level 5 Ignite in your hand at the start of the combo, to add one off of Isolde, so you can use it for a synchro summon with Tatsunoko to go into the Emancipated Risen Dragite, or that of B-Sav, of course, the Borreload Savage Dragon, as you see me go for here, which I think I go for Dragon. No, I do go, okay, I go for Borreload Savage Dragon here. And now I think, yeah, I'm going to go for Halka Fibrax, and that is going to summon out Jet Synchron, and Jet Synchron and Halka Fibrax will combine together for Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon here. So completing the sort of standard board here alongside the Infernoble engine and of course the Fireburn Friends engine. Just basically the same combo you've seen in other decks, just with a slightly bit of a different flavor on it, of course, through the Infernoble engine. And I am happy to say, and I'm happy to experience the fact that this Infernoble deck is very much viable even after, you know, Link Cross, Auroradon, Halka Fibrax have long bitten the dust. There's still a lot of cool things this deck can do. And, you know, even into the realm of possibility of playing like the original Noble Knights and things like that, there's just, you know, a huge backing archetype behind this deck, which is really cool to see. So a lot of future potential ahead with this deck, so very excited for that. And of course, as you can see here, I think I make a big mistake here. I still have, oh no, okay, so I do remember to do it. I was wondering if I was going to use the Jet Synchron in the grave. But, okay, so yeah, this is actually, I thought I was going to miss out on Herald, but I, you know, just remember now as I synchro for the Charles, I still needed to make Charles. Huge important part of the end board for Infernoble as my cutscene plays out here, much like my opponents did in Game 1. So I was like, you know, I could go for Herald here, but I remember I don't really go for Herald. Haven't really gone for Herald as much lately, because I think prioritizing Charles is much more important, as it is the main reason you get to activate Smoke Grenade at the Time Thief in the end phase, because it's able to use that effect if a monster you control has become equipped with something, you can destroy a card in the field and thus destroy that of Smoke Grenade. So I get to look at his hand here. He's got a Ghost Ogre, and he sort of talks about, you know, he probably should have used it earlier on in the combo, but you know, he had thought about it a little too long, essentially. And by the time, you know, he had, you know, tried to make up his mind, there was a Gearfried already on my field. So, but then again, he still has a Ghost Ogre to try to break apart my board during his turn. Anything. What's one of the nice things about Ghost Ogre is it can sort of be used as a board breaking card let alone a board stopping card, as we see it, you know, being used against going first boards. You know, while they play out their turn, you can sort of have it be an active, you know, removal card during your turn going second. So I decide it's best to hit that UCT out of the hand. He's got some other really good cards in his hand as well. It's almost like the cherry-picked card here didn't make too much of a difference. So I end up going for Borreload Savage here to negate that of Lost World, because it's just such a good card right now, and I can't really afford to let him have it on the field. And he's going to Ghost Ogre, and I'm forced to negate with Immortal Phoenix Gearfried, so I don't lose Borreload Savage, right? I mean, granted, I'm not entirely sure how the rulings work, and forgive me about not knowing this, but I think if I were to not negate that Ghost Ogre, my Borreload Savage Dragon would have still negated the Lost World, but then again, I could be entirely wrong. But either way, he top decks this Petit Pteranodon for turn, which ultimately makes his hand just like 1,000 times better, because he's able to sort of go through the standard, you know, Dino FTK. And again, it's not really an FTK, but it's just such a powerful combo that comes from such like very little resource. And it's not like it's just 2 specific cards that gets you to it, right? It's like a ton of different combinations. It could be like 2 Fossil Digs, or miscellaneous Fossil Dig, or miscellaneous and any baby, or miscellaneous and Oviraptor, or like, you know, like the list just goes on of things that you could use to pull off this really gnarly combo. And here I am under Miscellaneousaurus, so any dinosaur monster he controls is unaffected by activated card effects. You know, I would have loved to use that Roland Captain in my graveyard on any dino play he had, but I can't, so I'm forced to use it now when he summons out that Pentastag, and I'm able to at least clear that off the field, which could be very, very problematic, you know, considering that Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is on the way, and you know, that paired with Pentastag is basically just game outright, and you know, I can only stop so much before, you know, big bad UCT hits the field, and of course Giant Rex coming right back to the field, and this of course going to allow for a gnarly rank 4 play in that of Logia or possibly Dolka, but I think he doesn't have Logia left, or I don't actually know if he's resolved Extravagance. I don't think he has. Yeah, I don't think he's resolved Extravagance yet this turn, so I'm just bugging here. My apologies. So the UCT does go through. I don't have much left in the tank here to be able to stop that, and I'm just sort of at the mercy now of his Dino DNA. And he's going to be able to summon off Petit Pteranodon here, accidentally trying to summon that a baby, but you know what? Screw it. We'll just go right for Pankratops, because why not? Fair and balanced. Pankratops is at like 17 in this deck. Clears the entire field, swings in for 23. Luckily for me, the monster that Petit Pteranodon summons out cannot attack the turn that it is summoned. So I don't get completely OTK'd. I get another turn here to try to redeem myself. But, you know, will the cards in my hand be enough, essentially? This is the point where I was wishing I would draw into some of my side deck cards, but lo and behold, we just don't see those side deck cards here. If you are me, if you are a good old Winter, you just don't get to draw your side deck cards. That's just how it is, unfortunately. But luckily, I do have Heritage of the Chalice. Heritage of the Chalice is going to net me a copy of Renault from the deck, as I feel that is the best option currently. A couple things on the plate, though. I've got to worry about a Pankratops. I've got to worry about double monster negate and Book of Eclipse. Like, this is like, there's 3 monsters on this field with nothing else. 1 extra deck monster. But it feels like I am trying to play through one of the greatest boards ever created in the existence of Yu-Gi-Oh! It looks so small and insignificant compared to a lot of huge, extravagant combo boards we've seen throughout the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just 3 monsters staring me down, let alone it's not even turn 1 anymore. I mean, I guess it was kind of turn 1 for him, but that's besides the point. It's still not a lot, but it's a lot at the same time, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to say something very, very short, but I'm just doing it in a lot of words because I suck. So either way, I get a Stolfo on the field, and I'm trying to figure out what monster I want to banish, because the level that I choose to make it is somewhat relevant here, because again, I do have Renault, and I'm trying to, if I can get it a level 3, I can like at least try to get Herald on field, and that might grant me some leverage. But that's really about it. You know, even if I do get a Herald on board, it's a one trade-off with something like Pankratops. You know, and that Dolka that's sitting on his field, it's just such a pain. So, I mean, I don't even think I have a level 3 in my grave at this point. So, I banish Genba, and it becomes level 2. But it's not so bad, because I have Fire Flint Lady in hand, which is going to just be able to special summon itself, while I control a warrior monster. And of course, I have Renault. Now, I'm pretty sure they're both inherent effects, and they would not be able to negate the summon of either Renault or Fire Flint Lady. So I'm pretty sure that's how that would work. He would not actually have the opportunity to negate them. But luckily, I'm able to bait out at least one of his interruptions here with that Summon of Isolde. And luckily for me, I will be able to get the effect here. He's going to let me get it, the search effect of Isolde. And I believe my draw for turn was Squeak Knight, which I only do play one of. And it is a Garnet. Not so much so, because if you do draw Squeak Knight, you can still use Sublimation Knight. It's not like a true Garnet where if you draw it, you literally cannot complete the combo that it is meant, you know, in the deck to fulfill. But you know, it's not so bad. But I would have rather it have been any other card in my deck at this point. Perhaps something like an Ignite. Because, you know, a Pendulum Summon right now wouldn't be half bad. I've got a Stolfo engraved. And I'm trying to go off the fact that my opponent isn't that knowledgeable of the deck I'm playing, and that in of itself sometimes can get your opponent to do things that they wouldn't do otherwise if they, you know, were aware of the entire deck's capabilities. But even in this sense, it doesn't make too big of a difference if he does negate the graveyard effect of Astolfo, because he still has another negate for my Sublimation Knight. And I'm like, you know what, I can't bluff anymore really at this point. And I think, you know, you got it, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this match. Infernoble losing 2-0 to that of Dino. Blame it on me not being the best Infernoble pilot. My build does need a little bit of tweaking. I understand that. But you can't really knock Dino, man. Dino is absolutely devastating. This deck is absolutely nuts. I hope to see it at least get hit at some point in the future. I think it does deserve a hit in some way, shape, or form. Animadorn has done so much for this deck. It's absolutely insane. Like, opening Oviraptor was so good beforehand, but now it's just like 1,000 times better. And like, you don't even need Lithosagium in Diagram when you've got something like, it's basically built in Diagram for the deck. But then again, I'm done rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out all the ways to support the channel down in the description below, like my affiliate link to TCG Player. You guys can use that to help support the channel just by shopping on TCG Player. And of course, if you guys are buying anything from Imperium Duelist, or, you know, haven't checked them out yet, you guys should. Link to their site down below as well. And there's a discount code there as well, so if you guys want to pick up anything up, you can get it at a discount, 10% off, and it does help support the channel as well. So that's going to do it for this live duel. Hope you guys enjoyed. More on the way. And as always, Winner Kills signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one. And of course, a huge shout out to my Divine Level channel members here on YouTube, Academic Thick, Travis Harris, and Zors. Again, thank you guys so much for continuing to support the channel as you guys have. Of course, keeping the channel going strong.